Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden. So I feel like an idiot. I love it when I feel like an idiot. I'm like, really? Really? I have been trying to figure out how the hell do I market this for years, like 2 years. I've been trying to figure this out. I have the instruction manual for the subconscious mind. I'm the only one in the world with this information. I built a prosthetic subconscious mind. I know how to use the mind. I have the algorithm. So the subconscious mind is a Rubik's Cube. And imagine the Rubik's Cube times 4. And there's an algorithm. I've got the algorithm. By God, I have the fucking formula. And this is how I like talk to people, and in 2 minutes I can go through their entire life history, and they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, it's just an algorithm. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, God. See. And yesterday I was like, I gotta find a new angle. And then when you keep finding angles and looking for angles and you just feel like you're in a maze and you're stuck on all sides, that's because you need to literally do something completely different. So I'm like, I have got to literally do something drastic, like move to Paris. Ooh, that's an idea. Move to Paris. I'm like, it has to be that kind of drastic, because that's how you get out of ruts, because I know the subconscious mind. That's how you get out of a rut. You literally have to do something so entirely different and abstract and opposite from everything you're doing, just to force the subconscious mind to go, holy shit, I need to see. He and I have a dance happening. Here's how the subconscious mind works. It loves routine. It loves formulas. And when it goes through a certain formula that works, that's smooth, it will just keep running through it. And if you're trying to puzzle solve and you're going through a puzzle and you keep coming up to the same solution, it's because the subconscious mind has been trained to plug in the same formula. So you need a new formula. So in order to get a new formula, you have to put yourself in a situation on purpose, safely, that is 100% different and opposite from anything else you've done. Do the opposite. Do the opposite. And when you do the opposite, the subconscious mind goes, oh, the formula doesn't work. And it will immediately scramble together and grab a new formula. And it will do so fucking quickly, because this is the gorgeous thing of the subconscious mind. It's self-preservation. If it doesn't have a formula, it can't proceed, and time is of the essence, according to the subconscious mind. So it immediately plugs in anything it's got with all of its logical computation, and boom, you've got a new formula. Suddenly, wow, this works. And that's why I have the instruction manual of the subconscious mind. 95% of your life choices are decided by your subconscious mind, which means you are the little bitch of your subconscious mind. Absolutely. Unless and until you get the manual. I've got the manual. And I'm going, how do I market this? How do I market it? What the fuck am I doing? I've got the manual of the subconscious mind. I have literally a prosthetic subconscious mind. I know every formula that it runs on. And I'm not sharing the information. I'm not talking about the information. I'm just like, yeah, that's one of the tools I use behind me, but that's not what you want to know. And I talk about all this other shit and all this other stuff. And I'm like, why is it not going anywhere? The subconscious mind is going, any day now, any day now. Are you ready for me? Just you be quiet. And it goes, okay, you're in charge. You're the conscious awareness. You're in charge. I'm just going to sit over here and keep you running around in a maze until you figure it out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sub. So the subconscious mind is absolutely a personality of you. And you have 7 personalities. You have 7 sides to you. So this is like, all right, I got a plan. I got to sit down and I got to sketch this all out and figure it out. But I was talking to somebody the other day and she's like, you need an angle. And I'm like, I don't know. I just, and this is it. It never occurred to me to talk about the instruction manual for the subconscious mind. And the thing is, once you have the instruction manual for the subconscious mind, it applies to everything, literally everything. I have a map of the subconscious mind. I have literally a list of all the components. I have a logical formula that locates every if-then clause that it uses. And this is the best part. Based off of your mental illness and or behavior, I know exactly which if-then clause your subconscious mind is plugged into, so it knows how to operate. Boom! That's how you cure mental illness. You need the subconscious mind manual, which I've got. So this is going to completely change the way I talk to people, market, and all that jazz. I am a subconscious mind whisperer, but yeah, so the problem is they bore me. Subconscious minds really, really bore me because it is so predictable. The subconscious minds are painfully predictable for me. And I love identities. Now, identities are the main. Identities have no formula. Actually, they do. It's want, desire, dream, choose, do. There, want, desire, dream, choose, do. That's the identities formula. So when you interact with an identity, oh, you get a parade and confetti and so many different weird things. My God, do I love identities. But the subconscious mind, when it's afraid or in the war zone, it shuts down identity. It binds and gags her and throws her in the brig. And then your subconscious mind you have mutiny on the bounty. And the subconscious mind takes over the conscious awareness. And you're just like sitting in the corner on the ship, sucking your thumb, going, I don't know what to do. And the subconscious mind is like, I am in charge of this here brig. And it's all chaos ensues because the subconscious mind is not supposed to be navigating your life. It's not supposed to be in charge. It likes to think it is. It will do whatever it has to do to keep you safe and functioning, including self-destruct. Oh, we're going down with the ship. Yeah, that's the subconscious mind. It is not equipped to manage, run, and operate your life, which is why most lives are in the shithole, is because the subconscious mind is not equipped to do this. The conscious awareness is. But the conscious awareness has to be educated on how to do this. So this is actually one of the things that I want to talk about this, because when you look at my Triadic Healing courses, I have Triadic Healing Part 2 and Part 3 and Part 4. And those are readily available. Like those, you call me up and you say, hey, I want Triadic 1, 2, or 2, 3, 4. I'm like, there you go. And it's all automated. But I never wrote up Triadic Healing Part 1. And the reason why is because Triadic Healing, why didn't I write out Triadic Healing Part 1? It's really because, I don't know, I think it's because I enjoy Triadic Healing Part 1 so much. You know, it's really interesting because every time I try to sit down and write Triadic Healing Part 1, I couldn't do it. And now I'm thinking that would be the universe. The universe is also, your intuition is very much one of the 7 parts. And there's a relationship. There's a relationship. Once you have a relationship with the 7 parts of yourself, your civil war ends. And once you get to that point in your mind where you realize you have to start working with yourself as a team. Do you work with yourself as a team? You really need to be working with yourself as a team. So once you get to that point where you are working with yourself as a team, you realize that everyone gets a voice, everyone needs a say, everyone needs to be acknowledged, validated, and alike. It's like having 7 children, but you're like, okay, 6 children and the leader. I'm not the leader. Identity is the leader. Identity is in charge, and she's 5. She's 5. Identity is who we refer to as our inner child. That's garbage. No, it's not your inner child. It's your identity. It's your fucking identity. Your inner child is your identity. And she's 5. She's 5. She's amazing. She's amazing. She's the reason why I have like stripy colored straws in all of my, she's the reason why I drink milk, because she's 5. She is on an imagination. That's her. And every time, and oh my God, I love this. Like, I love being a role model. All right, I'm going to show you how this is fun. All right. So every time I sat down to try and compose Triadic Healing Part 1, I couldn't do it. I just had this mental block, which was my intuition going, no. That's going to come up later. Right now, focus on 2, 3, and 4. But I haven't, you follow these. Like, yes, ma'am. That's me talking to Mother Nature. Yes, ma'am. So I sat down and I just went ahead with 2, 3, 4, put all of that together. And when I was done, I'm like, all right, Triadic Healing. And I'm like, where's Part 1? Oh, yeah, I didn't build it. And I'm like, why didn't I build this? Because she says, that's what you're going to teach live. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Triadic Healing Part 1 is your story health. It's your story health. I'm theater and stage. So, of course, it's like, oh my God, yeah. But Triadic Healing Part 2 is your logical side. That is your subconscious mind. Actually, no, it's not. It's all the wiring and the connections and all the physics behind the subconscious mind. So you know how to take yourself and connect it to another mind. It's amazing shit. I love physics. Physics is fun. Okay. So when you have all these components, and then you've got your communication health. And then, oh yeah. So I'm totally not going to be doing Triadic Healing anywhere but live. Triadic Healing has got to be done live because, oh my God, this is so fucking amazing. So I'm going to do Triadic Healing Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. That's all automated. But Try to Healing Part 1 is my baby. You want Try to Healing Part 1, you're going to have to come to me. There's just no other way to get around that. You're just going to have to come to me, because this is my happy place. This is truly where I just love to be. And it is the space. And I'm sorry, it's when I write, oh my God, when I write, my writing is like on a whole, that's there's my writing and then there's my public speaking. And I would love to get feedback on this, because they're two completely different worlds for me. And my writing is much more proficient than my public speaking. My writing is like through the fucking roof, and it's over there. And you have to crank in 90,000 hours to be a master. I have easily, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. Ha 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 ha. All right, let me think here. I was writing from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. every day for 10 years. So that's 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 plus 7. So that is 19 hours. So 19 hours times 365 times 10. 69,350 hours. And now let me go, this was 2006 is when I started that, and I ended it in 2015. Yeah, so, okay. So 60, so I clocked in 69,000, well, less than 60, so less than 70,000 hours is what I clocked in. Let me see here. Because it was 9 years, not 10. So let me redo that. So it's 19 times 365 times 9. So I have 62,415 hours just in those 10 years alone. And that's not including all my blog posts and all the other stuff that I did prior or before that and then after that. So it's a lot of, like, my writing is there. And I've got my public speaking over here. And so my writing is where my Try to Healing Part 2, 3, 4 is. So that's all written material. My public speaking, though, that's Try to Healing Part 1. And the reason why is because Try to Healing Part 1 is so much fucking fun. It's the self. It's just, there's nothing else to it. It's the self. And then, okay, this is all the wiring in the back. And the wiring in the back is all literally, it's all written out. It's all logic, math, physics. I have all the proof, the evidence, and all that crap. But the self is where the art is. And that's really, that's on the imagination. That's where the fun stuff happens. So I've been trying to put together this thing since day one, trying to figure out how am I going to do this? Like, to explain what I've got. I'm like, I can't even explain it. And there it is you have the instruction manual of the subconscious mind. And people have asked me, well, who can use it? Who's your target audience? Well, anyone with a subconscious mind is my target audience. Like that's who it's for. Everyone needs this information. And that's not how you do marketing. That's not at all who you do marketing. So I would have to say right off that if you're a pirate, it's for pirates. It's for societal pirates. That is who my target audience is. Societal pirates. I'm looking for societal pirates who actually want the instruction manual for their subconscious mind. Because this is it, is there are two sides of the coin here. You've got the rod of truth. I love my stories. You love my stories. Everyone loves story. We have to have story. Have you ever noticed we have to have story? There's a reason why. Anyway, so you have your rod of truth that's located at the point of comprehension. And then you've got society. And society actually conflicts with the rod of truth in the point of comprehension, which is Mother Nature. And you got to choose sides. Now, you don't have to choose sides, but you're going to be in a lot of pain if you don't. In fact, the more you are not choosing sides, the more wishy-washy you are on who's going to be your point of reference, it's going to cause you a lot of pain. That's called cognitive dissonance. And when you end up basically indecisive over, am I going to be over here with the point of comprehension, or am I going to assign my self-authority to somebody else to tell me what to do? When you do that, game over, because this is why 100% of the human mind is natural law. Your subconscious mind runs on natural law. And if you don't know natural law, and I'm going to tell you right now, you don't. Because if you did, then there would be no mental health crisis. If you're not running on natural law, your life is going to be a hot mess. You're going to have a lot of things in place to make sure that it stays on track. The problem is that takes a lot of energy because you are resisting. So you have resistance, you have energy, and you're pushing through that resistance using your energy. So all of your energy is being used to fuel the resistance. And in physics, well, that's a train wreck waiting to happen, which is where mental illness comes into it. And when you are on the side of natural law, there is no resistance. There is absolute fluidity, and you go along with everything naturally on the circuit where it's supposed to be. There is no having to redirect the train and force it to go somewhere else. It just happens. It's so fucking easy. And every time people come over, they go, oh my God, it's so easy. Is it really this simple? Yes, yes, it is. It is this easy. It is this simple. Life is easy and simple when you do it right. Life is easy and simple if you have the manual for the subconscious mind. And everyone who comes over goes, they're stunned. They're like, oh my God, it cannot be this easy and simple. I went through that. It cannot be this easy and simple. Yes, yes, it is. It is. What's hard is when you're doing something not meant for you. That's when it's hard. It's easy when you do what's meant for you. Hard means you're not doing something right. Easy means you're doing it right. This is where, changing language is going to be such a huge part of this, because our subconscious mind uses language to put together if-then clauses for its logical code. All the subconscious mind does all day long is build logical code so that you can function in accordance to your lifestyle. So if you have a lifestyle that is illogical, your subconscious mind is going to build logical code to support that. And if you are not aligned to natural law, but you are natural law because you're a human being, then you're going to have literally two types of coding inside your computer database. It's like having C++ and Java. I don't know anything about computers, so that might be a really, really bad example. But it's like having two computer codes that absolutely work against each other inside of your mind. And that's where mental illness comes from. So once you understand that you got to choose a logical code to live by, oh, this is making so much more sense. See, this is why Try to Kill Me Part 1 is all me. And once you understand that your logical code needs to be, you got to pick a code. You've got to pick a code. But if you're not aware that there are codes, that there are two codes out there, you're not going to look for it. And that's the problem with our society is we have two codes. And you already have one of those codes embedded naturally into you. The other one is artificial. So you have I love these words. I love these words. These are the words I've been looking for because I'm on the right place. When it's easy, it's right for you. So when you have artificial code, that's going to contradict the natural code. The problem is society is the artificial code. Society runs on the artificial code. Scientists have figured out the natural code, which is why most scientists are happy, healthy, and they're busy creating new shit and pioneering the world. They're not caught up in all the bullshit of the world because they're happy, because they have the natural code, because they're physicists, because they got physics and math. Physics, math, and logic. That's the logical code. But if you are running off of the artificial code, you are not going to be okay. And the more artificial code you have inside of you, it's all on a spectrum. So if you're all the way here, completely resigned, is that the right word? I have to look up that word. If you are 100% committed to the artificial code, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. But if you are like trying to be nature and also trying to function, you're not going to be okay, because that's where you have two logical codes inside of you, two computer codes, and you're not going to be okay. Your subconscious mind is just 100% a beautiful computer program with just the computer code. Every word out of your mouth, every word inside of your brain, every word that you read or hear is logical code that you keep upgrading and uploading into your mind. What kind of code do you have? I've broken it all down. These are codes that do not exist anywhere else. This is part of having the code for the logical mind, for the subconscious mind. Once you have the logical code, you can go, oh. So we're going to go ahead and go through this real quick, because this is fucking amazing. The first kind of logical code is what language do you speak? But this is really surface deep, and it means jack and fucking shit. So I use English. So that's my logical code. That's the first one. But that's really, really shallow. That's the visible one. That is literally the visible one. It's like typing in HTML, where you're typing in open parentheses, BR, close. That's HTML code. But really, What you see is 101010. That's computer code. So the English language, the French language, all of those languages is the kind of code. So you might be speaking in HTML code, you might be speaking in JavaScript, you might be speaking in C++. I'm talking about the 10101s. And that's completely different. So the first three is artist, communicator, or scientist. Those are your three language. This is a spectrum. The people who are artists have to have everything translated into the artist language. The artist language is intuition, feeling, and imagery. Period. End of the discussion. That's it. They are intuitive, they feel, and they see the image. They are 100% artist on the left side of the spectrum. The communicators are amazing minds. They really, they blow my mind away. I'm just like, dudes, you guys are something. They see the world like power economics. They see the world like a battery where there's people on this side and then there's people over this, and they see a circuit and they're going, and the communicators stand between people going, oh, I understand that, and I understand that, and now I have my own language that I can use to translate both of them so I can literally mediate between the two. So the communicators are the people who can see and mediate, and they have to have both sides of the coin to understand it. They have to have both sides to understand the big picture. Everything that they understand is done through word and logic and math. They do not, that is how they translate everything. So when someone speaks to them, they compartmentalize. Well, they do grouping. It's the real word is grouping, which is math. They do grouping, and then they break it down and they try and determine, okay, which side of the coin are you on? And I know where they are. I know exactly where they're standing on. It's a mirror. They can see both sides of the mirror. You beautiful people. So that's how their brains work, is they see both sides of the mirror. They stand right at the medium point and they translate. Communicators are easily the most abused in our culture, to the point where they don't even exist in most places, which is why we have a communication problem in the entire world, which is why everything is falling down, is because the communicators are absent, because they are not cultivated or nourished properly. Scientists, as me, they triangulate. Everything's got to be triangulated. They have no comprehension unless and until I need a point of origin. I need to know an understanding of the law. I need to know the laws of physics in which A, B, C happened. I need to understand the point of origin, and I need to know the destination or the why it's going to take place. I need to know where you're coming from, where you're going, and the laws in which to get there. If I don't have that information, scientist, I don't understand it. So for a scientist, they use research and scientific method to get the triangulation, but it is the obtaining of the information that allows them to understand it. This is what I refer to as theoretical learners. So if you are a theoretical learner, you are a scientist. If you are imagery, feeling, intuition, you are the artist language. And if you are very much that, I got to see both sides of the coin, it's really amazing, because it's either, I see what it is now. It's either one person point of view. It's not one person point of view. Not one person point of view. I got to think about this for a minute. It's literally within the point, or it's binary, or it's spectrum. So it's 1, 2, or 3. Either your mind focuses on 1, it focuses on 2, or it focuses on 3. And it's neither good nor bad. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that's how your brain works. So your brain translates everything into either 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. If it focuses on 1 point, then you are an artist. If it focuses on 2 points, then you are a transmitter, communicator. If it focuses on 3 points, you require triangulation. And now you understand where you are and who you are. Now, 100% of everything that goes into your mind has to be translated into your language. So that's the first surface, the first internal language. We're going to call these internal languages. That's your first internal language. The second internal language is going to be your role in society, your societal role. Now, this societal role does not mean where somebody else put you. That's not at all what it means. Your societal role is where Mother Nature put you. So Mother Nature has a societal role that she has assigned to you. Just like she has a role, not a role, but a language that she gave you. The first internal language she gave you is 1, 2, or 3, artist, communicator, scientist. The second language she gave you was your societal role. Now, society is going to come along in most cases and tell you that that's not correct, and they're going to put you where they want you. And when that happens, it's almost every time contradictory to what Mother Nature has said. So these are your 4 options. You are either a foundational, which means you work at the foundation with the people. Very, very important role. The next one is the cultivator, which means you are nurturing or nourishing other people. Communicators are always cultivators. You cannot be a communicator and not be a cultivator. If you went, oh, that's me, I'm a communicator, you are a cultivator. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. If you, cultivator and communicator go so hand in hand, they are like, they are just like fused. The next one after that is visionary. Visionary is your scientists. These are the people who create ideas. These are your idea generators. You do not have to be one of these. You can be as many of them as you want. I am 3 of these. You can be all of them. I've never met anyone who's all 4, but you can be. And then you have a pioneer. Now, a pioneer, I am a pioneer. The pioneer is the person who is on the front lines of change, and they are expanding the defined reality. I'm going to say the defined accepted reality. They are pushing the boundary on the unknown. They pioneer the unknown. That's a great way to put that. So you are either pioneering the unknown and discovering, so you're an explorer. And most of our scientists, all of our scientists are that. That's what scientists does. They are pioneers. The next one is that visionary, where they're coming up with new ideas. Cultivators are the communicators who are bridging the gap and making sure that the visionaries, pioneers are able to communicate with the foundationals. The foundationals are the foundation of a society. Everyone starts off at foundational. 100% of all of us begin at foundational is like the nursery. Now, there are tasks you can live in the nursery. You can nurture yourself in the nursery. You can develop yourself in the nursery. You can graduate from the nursery. You can graduate from the nursery, move on to becoming a pioneer, and then return to the nursery. So the foundationals is where literally nourishment happens. This is where nourishment happens. Now, in addition to being a foundational, if you do not have a cultivator in place, you're not going to go. You're going to stay there, which is why our poor class is getting poorer and our health class, or I'm sorry, our wealth class is getting wealthier, is because the communicators and the cultivators are gone. They're not being cultivated. No one's cultivating the cultivators. I cultivate cultivators. And this is why. Is because they are the bridge that allows people to move from the poor class and the working class up to wealth, fame, fortune. Is because the communicators are gone. So once you cultivate the communicators, you put them back into society and boom, the whole thing moves and flows freely. So cultivators are the circuit. They are the circuit. They are business owners. They are networkers. These are the people who literally, you have 2 transformers in physics. You have 2 rods. And if they are isolated, it's because the communicator is gone. It's because the circuit's broken. So you have to connect the circuit so you can get a current. And when you get a current, now you can start moving things along that current. That's networking. Society is just a giant network. It's called societal networking. And if it does not have healthy communicators, if it does not have all the tools in place, it's not going to go anywhere. This is how our subconscious mind translates and works everything. Now, the next stage, the next language that is being used I want to say is your skills, which is your apprentice, tradesman, master, and philosopher. Yeah. Yeah. So the next language is your skills. It's going to tell you exactly what quality your work is at. That's exactly it. It's going to determine the quality. So if you are a communicator and you are a cultivator, but you have low quality in communication skills, then you're going to have a low connection. If you are a visionary and you have high quality, if your skills are absolute up to par and beyond, you're going to have a high skill level, a high level of being a visionary. So your skill levels are 100% going to determine the quality, which is going to determine literally your transmission, your ability to take the data from point A and transfer it over to point B. If you have low quality in communication skills, you're not going to be able to transfer the data from point A to point B. Absolutely not. So these are basically the languages of the subconscious mind, the code. And what language you use on the surface. All of these things, by the way, determines your mindset. These are all factors inside the mindset. Your mindset is built on the language used. So if you change the language, you change your mindset. A lot of people are out there they abuse the subconscious mind. A lot of people abuse the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind takes more abuse than anyone or anything on this planet. And the person who does the majority of the abuse are the teachers, the psychologists, and coaches, healers, and the self. Those are the biggest abusers when it comes to the subconscious mind because they just don't know. So it starts by speaking the language, communicating with the subconscious mind instead of forcing the subconscious mind, instead of abusing and bombarding it. Oh my God, do you have any idea what that does to the subconscious mind? First, it becomes highly defensive of its own self. It's being attacked by the self. And then it's led into a false sense of security by people who are in position of power and authority, and then they abuse it. So then the walls and the defenses go up, and the subconscious mind immediately shuts down. That's where you see flop response. That's where you see just it completely shuts down, or it freezes, or it fawns. That's where it fakes laughter when it's terrified. And it's because it's being abused by its owner, by its teachers, and by its parents. The subconscious mind requires gentle, pacifist communication. That is the only way to change a subconscious mind. Gentle, loving, nurturing, compassion. You want to change your subconscious mind, you need to start giving it a name. You need to acknowledge that it even exists. The majority of the people on the planet don't even acknowledge it's alive, which is why, oh my God, the poor thing. Like, seriously, take some time and love your subconscious mind. Start by giving it a name. And once you change the relationship you have with your subconscious mind, the subconscious mind will relax enough to finally turn the controls over to you. But you have got to be ready to take those controls. If you're not ready to take the controls, dude, it's like a one-man show running an entire galleon. You cannot run a ship with less than 6 people. I learned that on Pirates of the Caribbean. You cannot run one ship on less than 6 people. You can't. You'll never get her out of port. You need a crew. Your crew is your subconscious mind. And if you're not working with her, she's not going to be amiable. She's not going to work with you. She's going to work against you, which is why, according to the CDC and NIM, 95% of the subconscious mind makes all of your life decisions for you. The real person in your way is the subconscious mind, because you have self-conflict between identity, conscious awareness, and subconscious mind. You really need to name these people. You really need to give these 3 people names. I am Anna. Identity is called imagination. And so it's Spock. Spock is what I call my subconscious mind. Spock. It's Spock. So with the 3 of us work together on our ship, and we keep it running and we steer it. Now, rule number 1 of the subconscious mind. I have a lot of rule number 1s. They're all the rule number 1s, which means there's no hierarchy over here. So every rule is rule number 1. The subconscious mind, absolutely. What was I going to say? I was on my hierarchy kick, and I just completely lost everything I was going to say. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. So this is absolutely what I am rolling out. And I'm going to start with, I really want to do a newsletter. I really, really want to do a newsletter. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a newsletter. So it's going to be literally you getting your daily subconscious mind manual delivered to your inbox. So click on the link below. If you are ready for the next action in this chain reaction, click on the link below and follow the instructions. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.